Yes, man. So, sometime together. So,
I got a question to ask you. Okay. This day and age, what do you think is one of the what is the most difficult thing a young man have to deal with?
drugs. You know, a lot of people say it could be, oh, it's just those jobs. It is jobs. It's money out here. It's jobs out here. But it's the addictions and the habits that we get hooked on. It's what keeps us tied down in a certain area or part of our life. You know, because we get out there and people complain and they make the money, but the addiction steals it. You see what I'm saying? And that's really what's going on, because it's like, if I worked right now and my rent is $800 and my lights is you say $200 a month, and even if I'm working at Crystals and I make, you know what I'm saying, every 2 weeks $400-$500, $600, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can cover my stuff. It's just that extra fun or that extra, you know what I'm saying, of what you want to do. And people got to learn, if we got a tight schedule and money, we bound to mess up, because at one point you're going to feel like this one is owed to me. You see what I'm saying? I deserve this one. And we're going to mess it up, and then that's going to put us further behind.
Well, what if you're on the other end and it's not actually you that's under the influence of drugs, and you're doing everything you're supposed to do? You're trying to live righteous, but you're still a young man dealing with all your surroundings.
Right. Now, addiction is not only just drugs, though. You know, it's different addictions. It could be, you know, you could have your mindset. You could be paying your bills, but then you meet up with the wrong girl, the wrong homeboys, the wrong homegirls, you know, and all that could cause you to be offset. You know what I mean? And like I say, you know, no matter who you are, there are going to be some times in your life where you're going to feel like, I deserve to have some kind of me time, some kind of fun time, some kind of, you know, and I'm not the one to say you're not, you know what I'm saying? It's just the way that life leads us, you know what I mean? But it's so funny how you could be just a young man or a young woman at one minute, and then all of a sudden life hits you and change, and then all of a sudden you got to start being a grown-up. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you witness that from being a young kid. You know, you may be 10, 12 years old. Your mom, you know, some of these kids' mama go out and have a baby. Next thing you know, they changing diapers and feeding bottles and keeping kids while mom either at the club sometime and at work. We got to be honest. You see what I'm saying? And so immediately you went from a child to being an adult, darn near a parent. You know what I'm saying? And so that life changes, and you know, 90% of the time we're not ready for it. So therefore, when it changes and we're not ready for it, just like a young girl get pregnant, not ready for it. You see what I'm saying? And they've been playing catch up all your life ever since. You see what I'm saying? And some of that stuff hit us, and now we're in a catch up position all our life, trying to figure out, when can I get a break? But you know what I'm saying? Some of us didn't take the breaks we had and appreciate it. Some of them just got ripped up of their innocence. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, the breaks got stole from them. You know, so you know, a lot of us been trying to play catch up. Even though we 50, 60 years old, we've been playing catch up since we was 14. Because of the choices that we made, or the things that we was up against in life that came upon us. Some of it we brought on ourselves, some of it we didn't. But now we got to come to a term that after eating poop your whole life, we got to come to a term of, how do I get out of this? And drugs is not the answer. Wilding out ain't the answer. Robbing ain't the answer. Killing, stealing, all of those things are not the answer to coming out of whatever the situation is you in.
Which brings me to my next question. What would be the first step you would tell a young man to take to stabilize his life.
Well, okay, other than me being an apostle of the Lord, that would always be my first step.
Exactly.
To anybody, your first step is to get in touch with God, surrender your life over to Him, ask for forgiveness, tell God, look here, I'm sorry, I don't understand you, but show me who you are, that I may follow you. I don't know nothing. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. I heard about you, but you know what I'm saying? If you're real, manifest knowledge of yourself unto me so I can know. Not just about what I heard, but just about what I want to know personally between me and you, a personal relationship, And, that would be my first step. But the second step and the first step to a person who don't know the Lord is you got to find some kind of stable ground. You know what I mean? Bouncing around, you can't, even if you stayed under a bridge, you find that bridge to be stable. This is where I'm going to build my house. This is my rock. I'm going to build my house on this rock under this bridge. I'm going to go out and I'm going to find me a job. And even if I got to wash my underarms at a gas station for a week or two, even if I got to, to do how I got to do, but I'm going to stay on this job. I'm going to get this foundation started by, money is not, I got to get some kind of foundation established. Even if it's, like I say, even if it's under a bridge. And then I set that tone to say, okay, I'm under this bridge now, but that's not my destiny. I'm going to get from under this bridge one day, but it has to be an honest way that God can step in, and begin to work with you, you know what I mean? So they'll in the beginning, there's always going to be some suffering. Because you surrender your life to God, that doesn't mean that your problems stop immediately. Some of them it does and some it don't, but you know what I'm saying? Men got to be men, women got to be women. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because daddy didn't do this and mama didn't do this. Once you turn 21 or 18 or whatever that age is, you got to be a man and a woman and own up to what did happen, what could have happened, what done happened, and begin to say, okay, right here, I got to make a declaration that I'm going to make it. And I'm going to make this thing the honest way. I'm not going to go out and rob and beat. Because 90% of the people that do rob don't do nothing but mess up the money anyway, and they go right back to having to rob again. You see what I'm saying? People don't understand that, but that's just the mentality of the devil to keep you trapped. So you're going to rob, you're going to sell dope, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and if it's not of God, guess what? It's going to evaporate, and you're going to have to go right back out to feed that same spirit and that same way you've been trying to feed yourself, and you will never be satisfied. Your spiritual man would never be satisfied. Neither will your flesh ever be satisfied. So you got to understand that, you know what I'm saying? We can go around cutting a lot of corners, but every corner we cut that's not, in God or out of God. Every corner you cut, you're going to have to go right back and start from the beginning again. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, we got to learn how to just start the right way. Like I said, if I was under a bridge right now, I got to understand that there's some ground rules I still need to set for myself to get from under this bridge.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not, and then we got to stop laying down and giving in to the problem or to the situation. You know what I'm saying? We look at these folks that be on the corners and smoked out and scratched up and tore up, and they, you know what I'm saying? That's somebody who at some point just gave in to the substance. You know what I'm saying? And they all had the opportunity to fight against that substance, just like the ones that made it out. But they got so weak to it till they let that be their God and let that run them. And that became more important to that chase for that stuff or that situation. Like I said, addiction could be a man, woman, whatever. Because we have that same addiction to a man or a woman that'll make them leave their kids and grandma got them. And you see what I'm saying? They abandon all the importance of life to chase behind that man, that woman, that drugs, that whatever they're addicted to. And that became their God. That became more important to them than their own survival.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go get my barbecue right now.
Okay, before you leave, can you just state your name, your affiliation to your church?
I'm Apostle Bryant, Spiritual Moving Bodies for Christ, 904-405-2539. Call us at any time and we'll talk. Amen. We'll come to your church. We'll come to your city, your state, your town. It doesn't matter where you are. We just love the fellowship with all God's people. Amen. Y'all be blessed. And the show is called Chillin with Apostle Bryant.